This video is a message from the console Overwatch community to the PC Overwatch community. I've been playing in cross-platform tournaments for the past 2 years now, and the amount of disrespect I've received as a console player has been absolutely ridiculous. I've always heard the same things every single game I would play. When I'm winning, it's always, oh, aim assist is too powerful, or console movement is so weird. Or, if I'm losing, it's always, oh, console players are so much worse than PC players, haha, console champ is PC plat. And then this would be followed up with me being blacklisted from scrims or even complained about to moderators in tournaments. And I cannot believe how much copium you egotistical PC players have to puff to complain about every aspect about console to be in your favor. Yes, aim assist is cheating, but have you used a controller? Do you even know how aim assist works in Overwatch? Have you seen what your mouse and keyboard is capable of? And don't get me started on all the content creators that just love to spread misinformation about console, when I know for a damn fact they've never played a game of console in their entire life. Aim assist is not a free aimbot, and in this video I hope to clear up the differences between console and PC, so we can stop huffing copium when you get diffed by console players, and console players can stop being discriminated against constantly by the community. Let's start with understanding what aim assist is. Aim assist is not an aimbot, but it is a cheat in the system that assists console aim. It does not aim for us. In Overwatch, aim assist slows down your crosshair when you're hovering over an enemy to make it easier to hit shots. It does not instantly pull to an enemy, and it isn't even strong either. It doesn't act as auto aim, but rather an assistant, because guess what? Playing on controller is hell. Do you know how much ridiculous stuff you got to look at in this game? You got characters who can teleport instantaneously, characters that can fly, characters that can wall climb and double jump. There's so much stuff to look at, and it makes it especially hard to use a controller into this trampoline park of a lobby. Aim assist makes it actually possible to use a controller in this game, and it makes controllers in any shooter game, as a matter of fact, actually usable. But here's the thing though, I can't compare aim assist between games because, for one, they act differently in other games, but also Overwatch is a whole different ballpark from the regular shooters that you'd think about. In Overwatch, game sense and ability or ult usage is the most important thing to understand to be good at this game. Although Overwatch is a shooter game, its fundamentals and key gameplay factors align with gameplay factors of an MMO. So being able to aim good isn't even the most important thing to be good at the game. Every single coach on Overwatch advises players not to focus on being an aim trainers or anything like that. Good aim does not matter as much as smart gameplay, since the time to kill is very low compared to Call of Duty. And in a game completely dominated by ability usage, having good aim can only get you so far. Aim assist is necessary to help with how hard controllers are to use and master, because I can tell you for a fact, any player that has tried to play Overwatch with a controller without aim assist has either trained for the past 2 to 6 years in the dojos to get at least serviceable at it, or has had the most miserable experience of their entire life, because it's impossible to keep up with anything. And there is proof of this when Crossplay first came out, because we didn't have aim assist, and even in that casual setting we could not compete in quick play. It was a wash, and no one wanted to play Crossplay because it wasn't fun getting outclassed. So we fought to get our aim assist back so we could at least play with our PC friends.
All game.
What? Oh my god, you got it, bro, you got it. Alright, bitch, you thought. I'm back.
Then I go.
Oh my god, bro, this is no. I swear to god, this is literally the hardest shit on planet Earth, bro.
If aim assist is an aimbot and does everything for you, there should be no reason that all of my friends who were top 500 console players that swapped to PC are now significantly better than how they were on console. Ryan Guy and Call Me Jags are just a few of them to name, but even my friends in Platinum to Masters have significantly improved after swapping platforms after just a few months of playing on mouse and keyboard. And this is because of the limits and difficulty of using a controller. Aim assist only specifically raises the skill floor of console players. It helps console players even be able to use the device they're using, but that does not mean it makes them better at the game, which is why everyone and their mom isn't in champion on console. It makes it easier to use the device they're using. It does not make them easier to aim in the game. It's combating the controller, not the game. which is something that no PC player out there understands. The amount of skill needed to actually be able to master and use a controller is literally 10 times harder than mastering a mouse and keyboard. My friend Sock was a top 500 console player and has been playing shooters on controller for over 6 years, and after picking up mouse and keyboard for 5 months, he's gotten much better than he could ever be on controller. Being able to control aim assist and be able to use a controller takes a lot of skill. That's why there's been like 5 updates just to add more sensitivity settings for controllers. Also, if your aim assist is too strong, you will struggle more than if you had a low amount of aim assist, because you are reducing your freedom of movement, which actually makes it harder to control because you have to fight against an automated system in the game. And guess what? Keyboard and mouse can do the exact same stuff that controllers can do, and more! Controller players who are able to use this inferior device, control the in-game aim assist and have it work in their favor, and play at the same level as top 500 PC players, should be acknowledged for how much time and effort they put in to be able to play at that level. All of my PC friends who have touched a controller always complained about how hard it is to play with, and immediately dropped it. That's because controllers are made for fighting games, but there are players out there who can make it work for shooters with the addition of aim assist. Not everyone can do it, so if you are a PC player out there and you're complaining about a controller player, please acknowledge the fact that it probably took them multiple years of experience to be able to control a controller and understand how to play Overwatch itself. When we get into the argument of crossplay and console players versus PC players, we have to acknowledge the advantages of both sides. Console has an easier time with tracking and shooting things that are close up to them thanks to aim assist, so they would naturally have an easier time with playing brawl comps. PC players have better movement because their inputs are instant. This is because there are no dead zones on PC, but there are for controllers. When you're moving your joystick around, whenever the joystick is in the center, it will put in no input because this is the dead zone, the resting position of the joystick. This especially affects strafing on console because it makes your strafing more sluggish than on mouse and keyboard. And on top of this, PC players also have more freedom with their aiming because of the mechanics of the mouse, which make flicking a lot faster than on console, making PC naturally better at poke comps. And because of this, PC players can turn faster than console players, which also makes them better at dive because they can take multiple angles surrounding the console team, and the console players will struggle turning around in different directions. Not to mention that console has a fixed, smaller FOV than PC, giving us another disadvantage because we physically cannot see as much as PC players. And on top of all of this, the hero select menu is infinitely faster on PC than on console. Console advantages make it easier to play the game, while PC advantages give you an easier opportunity to reach your mechanical limits. The skill ceiling of PC is much easier to get to and logically higher than on console. Now you may think that lower ranked console players should be better than low ranked PC players because of this fact, but that's simply not true. I believe low ranked console players have a much better time aiming than low ranked PC players, but guess what? Because of how mouse and keyboard works, the console players will most likely have a lower skill ceiling. So in Masters and above, there should be absolutely no excuse for console players being overpowered or cheating with aim assist. Considering all of the factors between the two devices, the console advantages simply do not have that much effect in high ranks, which is where I get pissed off because I should not be sitting in lobbies with GM players and being disrespected and discredited because I have aim assist. Anything that I can do on console can also be done on a mouse and keyboard, but I can't do everything that a mouse and keyboard can do on console. That's not to say console players are worse, it just means it's harder to reach the same highs as on a mouse and keyboard when you're on a controller. To any PC team who has had the experience of losing to console players and you've used the aim assist excuse, please watch over the VOD or replay codes and actually look at the flaws in your gameplay. Look at your positioning, your movement, or even the composition you're on. I can guarantee you if you're above Masters, any excuses for aim assist being too powerful are you coping over your bad gameplay. And even if aim assist still seems to be a problem with you, why don't you think about the numerous disadvantages I just listed about console players and play around that? Maybe go poke or dive because we will have a harder time with it. Maybe start surrounding us and running circles around us. Maybe AD spam in a slow and smart manner and lock onto our heads faster. Yes, aim assist is an artificial skill enhancer, and yes, we may be better at shooting things right in front of us. This is most apparent on heroes like Tracer. It is pretty easy to one-clip people on console with Tracer, but Since each side of the argument has advantages and disadvantages, Overwatch is a game that allows you to play around that. If you are playing on PC against a controller player that is the same rank as you and you're both on Tracer, blink behind him and around him. Blink in response to their blinks. I can guarantee you will get in more shots because you can turn faster. This is also apparent on Genji and Doomfist, and as a matter of fact, almost every hero in the game. You all have the tools to be better than us, and yet you decide to complain about aim assist, a tool that helps us console players even be able to compete with you in the first place. And when y'all start winning, don't go trashing on us either, because the fact is, there are really good console players out there that could smoke your whole roster. Beastman, Necrise, Hopeful, these are just a few examples of players who've played against multiple top 500 PC teams and have won against them. J3 has been able to show this firsthand in his custom games where he invites top controller players to play against top 500 PC players. Goddamn, Hopeful won a open division tournament on console, but guess what? They didn't let him play grand finals because he was a console player and he didn't have access to PR accounts, which are accounts that could be played on the previous patch that are used for Blizzard tournaments. So the meta doesn't change for playoffs or finals, but a tournament should not be cross-platform if you're not going to support console players in situations like this. And Blizzard did this because they did not believe a console player would pop off that hard, which I understand because there are zero console players out there and probably ever that can compete with OWL or top of OWCS teams because of the nature of the game and the disadvantages of using a controller. I believe that crossplay tournaments should be endorsed and promoted. I understand that both platforms have different strengths and weaknesses, but we must recognize that it is an unfair battle for both sides. Each platform will be better at different skills, and in a game like Overwatch, this should not matter, because everything is unfair, and with this unfairness comes adaptability. Players who have worse aim than others should change their playstyle, or even change the hero they're on to play around that fact. Maybe an enemy is worse at spatial awareness and plays in vulnerable positions a lot. People should be able to play around that fact and adapt their gameplay. And if you are playing in a tournament that is openly crossplay, you should not be able to complain about what a controller can do. PC players should learn how to adapt to console players, and console players should learn how to adapt to PC players. You should play to your strengths and understand the opponent's weaknesses to adapt your gameplay, which is what Overwatch is all about. And if you don't agree with me on any of these takes, then that's fine. You can continue to play against strictly PC players and play in PC-only tournaments. I don't care, just as long as you don't look at the console community with an ignorant mindset. I agree that aim assist is technically cheating, but it is necessary for us to even be playing shooter games in the first place. Do I believe it is strong in other games? Absolutely. Have you seen Call of Duty or Apex aim assist? It's extremely powerful and pretty much pulls your crosshair with the enemy movement. Does Overwatch's aim assist do that? No. It slows down your sensitivity when your crosshair is on an enemy, and it doesn't even do anything when you're not moving your controller. And because of that, I believe Overwatch is one of the best aim assists out there when it comes to balance. And because of that, I think that we should be able to play with PC players as well. Yes, crossplay tournaments are technically unfair and kind of ruin competitive integrity, but I think accepting crossplay in tournaments will do a lot for the Overwatch community as a whole. For one, there would be so much more players competing against each other. Console Overwatch has a very popular tournament scene, and being able to combine that community with PC competitive Overwatch would bring new opportunities, experiences, friendships, and competitive atmospheres to Overwatch. Crossplay tournaments can also help the segregation between the console community from the PC community. Console feels like I'm on a whole different planet than PC players, and we are usually shunned or ridiculed by the PC community because of aim assist or us being quote-unquote bad, which just extends the divide between the two. But players of the same game should not be divided or at war with each other, and I completely blame you PC content creators for putting this image on us. A stereotype built on condescending lies and petty grudges from people who have zero understanding of what they're actually talking about. And the problem with this is there aren't enough console content creators out there to be able to defend console players and these unfair stereotypes placed on them. Soradot, Hopeful, and GS Raider are all channels who have spoken on this topic, but of course, since we are console players, we have a significantly smaller following than these PC content creators, and the following that we do have is mostly consisted of console players. Our voices don't get reached out to the PC community. Because of the lack of crossplay opportunities and the view on console players from the PC community, PC streamers and content creators never collaborate or even want to talk about console creators. So if you were watching this video and you're a PC player, please consider sending this to your favorite PC streamers or YouTubers. And if you haven't, go check out some of the console content creators because we don't get enough love in this community. I hope you enjoyed this video, or at least listened to what I had to say. I know there's going to be mad smack talk and riots in the comments section, so I'd be careful going down there. Please subscribe, like and share this video, and be nice in the comment section. I will talk to y'all later.
New word, automatopoeia. Boom, quit acting like you don't wanna be here. Fuck around and get jumped like leave your Glock in the glove, make you really wanna leave me alone. Get the fuck on, gone. Okay, back to the happy songs. Rap ain't nothing but all the talking shit. My good look pretty up there, Ryan Dick. My plaid past, my solid future. Ass 9 ass and a gorgeous coochie. I'm an outcast, but you're into me. Summer got mad cause winter blooming, that juicy fruit.